What's good, y'all? Today we're going to discuss the concept of swing or be swung and go into full detail on how to use that to your advantage. Alright, y'all. So with this game being a very reaction-based game where it's your reaction time versus their reaction time, there's this thing called peeker's advantage. Alright, so when you peek, when you're the one peeking, you're the one swinging the angle, right? The angle is where he is. I'm the one swinging, right? I'm gonna see him slightly before he sees me, and I'm pretty sure that basically comes down to just frames and how the game works, right? So even though it's not a drastic difference, it makes a lot of difference when you see somebody and you have that time to react to them first, especially if you already know the general area where somebody is. And an example of this would be when you peek an angle like this and you swing up, or you swing left here, maybe over here. You swing, boom, right? I'll have full vision the second I peek around this corner. I see him, right? If I swing full speed like this, full walk speed, he's not gonna register me on his screen really until like right here. This is where he'll probably react, right? He'll come out. He'll probably see like right there off the wall when I peek it, right? And by that time, I've already been looking at him for a good amount of time, enough time definitely to react, right? So that's what peeker's advantage is. And when you get told to swing or be swung, that's exactly what that means, okay? Now, ways to use this effectively are pre-fires, right? So if you know what I'm saying? If you know somebody somewhere and you're gonna peek and you just, you see what I'm saying? Because on his screen, if you pre-fire, if you add a swinger's advantage, peeker's advantage with a pre-fire, I'm coming around that corner. I headshot the dummy that was right here. If that was a player, he wouldn't even see me. He would have had no time to react to that, okay? So that's where the real strong suit in peeker's advantage relies, right? Now, another thing to keep in mind is when you're swinging, just because you get that split second of peeker's advantage on somebody, if you have no idea where somebody is and you swing and you're aiming right here and they're crouched at this corner peeking you, you're not winning that, no matter how sooner you've seen them, right? Because you don't know where they're at. So swinging everything, expecting to win the gunfight because you're singing first is not gonna work, right? The way you gotta know where somebody is, and you gotta play off of that, right? Now, regardless of the season, the swing or be swung meta, some will call it. This is a very essential thing that you need understanding of if you're wanting to get better at Siege. So, ways to counter it and how to deal with knowing when somebody's gonna swing you versus knowing a good swing, knowing a bad swing. This is all very, very common info that you should understand, right? So I'm gonna explain some ways that you can counter being swung, right? So say for example, right? There's a dummy right here. This is a player. He hears me walk into the bathroom, right? He hears me walking. I'm gonna swing him. If he stands right here waiting for me to peek, I'm winning this gunfight, right? Because I'm seeing him first. The way you would want to counteract this would be you hear him coming and you swing into him with a little pre-fire because you know he's there, right? You swing with a pre-fire, or even just a swing, just swinging because you know he's somewhere along these lines because you heard him walking there, right? Even just swinging like without the pre-fire, right? That's more of like a if you really feel confident in it, right? You can just peek it and now you're on even playing field with the person who's swinging you. You don't ever want to hear somebody swinging you and stand in the middle of the doorway like this, unless it's an off angle, right? This is like an off angle. He swings, he's not expecting me to prone here unless he heard the sound cue, right? So this would be hypothetically a good angle to hold on somebody who's swinging you if you're confident they don't know you're here, right? That goes into the next part of how to counter the swingers be swung meta, which is off angles, okay? When people swing, especially if they don't know where you're at, they're gonna clear angles with their sights, right? So I'm gonna swing this way, I'm gonna clear that, I'm gonna look at that stall, and then I'm gonna instantly start looking towards the door, okay? Because this is like where my opponents are gonna be at, right? So if you know if you know the angle and how somebody's gonna peek it, or like what they're most likely gonna be looking at, if you're in somewhere where people aren't expecting, right? Typically off angles, like prone angles, you can catch people lacking, okay? Because you don't need to be swinging when you're proning, because they're already aiming head level if they're good players, or they're aiming here, right? Hopefully they're not here, because then you have you know what I'm saying? But anyways, as I was saying, right? Off angles, okay? say there's another. I'm gonna give you another example. Say there's a dude there, right? He's swinging up those stairs, right? This is probably a good angle right here, right? You aim right here, you're winning this. You're winning this angle 99% of the time. Okay, I promise you, right? Because you come up this staircase. What are you gonna be aiming at, right? You're gonna come in main. You're gonna shoot default. You're gonna be looking there. You're gonna be looking there. You're gonna look here, right? You're gonna look here, but you're crouching right there. The top of your head is right there, and you're already pre-aiming this. By the time he swings right here, and his crosshair is gonna be somewhere, head level on the door. That should be an easy kill. Okay, that's what an off angle basically is, right? It's being somewhere that you're not expected to be. Okay. Now, one thing you should take away from this video is just because swinging is very powerful does not mean every time you know where somebody is, you should swing, okay? Because people, this is a game with audio cues. This is a game it's a mind game. It's a strategy game, right? It's a strategy-based game. If somebody knows you're this person, like they know who you are, and they know that you're swinging every time you see somebody, you're swinging wide on the door, right? Which is just swinging full speed, right? If they know you're doing that every time, they're gonna sit with the crosshair probably not placed on right here. They're gonna sit the crosshair placed right here. The second they see you and they're expecting you to swing already, right? Because you've been showing that habit. You know what I'm saying? There's gonna cook you. It's gonna cook you. So it's important not to spam this and utilize it in a strategic way, right? Another strategic way to swing somebody, right? Say somebody's in this room, right? You're like, y'all are popping shots at each other. He mag dumps, right? He mag dumps trying to pre-fire you, right? You hear him reload, now you swing, right? That's not even swinger peeker's advantage anymore, because you're just swinging off of the audio of his reload, right? But that's a good situation where you'd wanna swing, right? If you know somebody's if you know they're like too deep watching a doorway, you shouldn't just walk in the middle of the doorway unless it's probably like a one-on-one, or you can minimize the amount of angles you're peeking at a time, right? If y'all want me to go more in depth in a video about angles, about positioning, about movement, about quick peeks, saying all of these essential movements for high ranked play in Rainbow, then just let me know in the comments. Like the video, let me know. I'm more than happy to make a lot of tip videos on Siege, because I have a lot of homies who play this game and they get into it and they're lost. They don't understand the concepts like swing or be swung. When we say that to people, we expect them to know what we mean and expect them to know the advantages, but a lot of people don't understand that concept. You know what I'm saying? So videos like this to help people is what I'd like to do. But with that being said, peace, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Leave a comment. I fuck with y'all. Peace.